There's a brand new adult animated R-rated film on Netflix this week called Fixed. Now, if you've heard that title, then you might know that it's actually created by the original creator of Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, and even Primal. It's Genndy Tartakovsky's brand new crazy movie that I was so excited for, and sadly, I think it missed the mark. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. Today we're discussing Fixed, which is about Bull, an average all-around good dog who discovers he's going to be neutered in the morning. He realizes he needs one last adventure with his pack of buds, as these are the last 24 hours with his balls. What could go wrong? Now, again, this is directed and written by Genndy Tartakovsky. I might be mispronouncing that, but I'm a pretty big fan of him and a lot of the cartoons that he created as I was growing up. And hearing that he was going to be taking that same kind of animation style, but creating an R-rated animated film about a dog who's just about to go have his own hangover party because he's about to lose his balls is kind of funny and just an overall a funny premise. But sadly, the film while has its moments of dark comedy and dark humor and sometimes a little bit too much with dog sex, like genuinely I think it's a little too much, that I got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't think this is funny anymore. Sadly, the film might have its moments, but overall it loses that flair pretty quickly, and I think this would have worked better as a short, or maybe even like in short spurts as a show. As a full-on movie for like an hour and 25 minutes, it just feels too dragged out for the amount of jokes. And that really sucks to say because I was really looking forward to this. But definitely leave your thoughts down below. Are you excited for this? Are you not? Are you a fan of Genndy stuff? What did you grow up with? What was your favorite thing from him? For me, it was either the Clone Wars series or Samurai Jack, but I do love me some Dexter's Laboratory. Please let me know down below your guys' thoughts. And without further ado, let's dive into this. So first pro I really want to give this in, obviously this is going to be the best thing, is the animation. The 2D animation is absolutely stunning to this. There are multiple different sequences in here that I love the different color and the usage of it that Genndy decided to do as a director, and I think that's really creative. The animation in here is something to not spot at. There's like this club sequence that they go to where it's kind of underground and there's like these purplish haze and these lights. It's absolutely stunning, but it feels like something that I would have seen back in the day when I was watching old school cartoons that he was creating. And that's like one of the things that I love about Fixed. I also love like the underground feel for this film. This doesn't feel like something that would be going on Netflix. This feels like something you would find on a random VHS in one of those shops where you're like, what the hell is this movie? And you watch it and you're like, oh, definitely what the hell was this? Because it's not low budget in that regard. The animation feels pretty solid. The film itself is pretty budgeted pretty well, where it feels like an actually pretty nice movie, and it doesn't feel like cheap animation like Sausage Party had. One of the things that really like surprised me by Fixed is how good the presentation of it all is, as well as alongside everything else along it, with all the character designs, the dog designs, and specifically how it's kind of harkening back to old school Tom and Jerry stuff. Like, there is so much to love in Fixed because it very much is, in a way, an homage to love letter to old school classic cartoons, but in R-rated versions of those. And don't get me wrong, I love watching those old school cartoons. I still go back and watch them, and I still find them funny and entertaining. They're better than a lot of the slop we get nowadays. Don't think the animation, the presentation, any of that is the reason that this film kind of falters apart, and we'll talk about that. But I also want to talk about the voice performances too, because I think those are actually some of the standouts as well. Catherine Hahn as Honey, I think, was absolutely hilarious. Adam Devine as well as Bull was great. Idris Elba has a lot of hilarious moments as Rocco. The cast alongside with the voice acting is fantastic, and again, adds to that feel of, again, finding a random R-rated animated film that just makes you kind of blow your mind away. Like, what is this? That's kind of where my pros end at. This is a film that actually took me 2 days to get through as I had the screening. And a lot of that is because I watched half of it and I was thinking it was pretty funny in the first 20 minutes. And then it slowly started to eke at me like, okay, like the jokes get more crass. I'm giggling, but it's starting to wear on me a bit. What is this film? When you go to any R-rated raunchy comedy, there is usually some sort of heart to it or some sort of thing that has it stick out just a tad bit. Sausage Party is a film that I really liked when I was younger. It's not a film that totally stands up for me, and a lot of the same reason is because of what I'm about to say about Fixed. I think I would have loved Fixed at 14 years old. I think I probably would have thought Fixed was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. At 28, I need a little bit more than just ball, sex, horny, dogs doing it type of jokes and shit and killing other animal type of jokes. Like I need more than that. And a similar situation happened with Strays a couple of years back, that live action R-rated dog film, where I wanted a little bit more from it. It was funny. I think it had a little bit of heart to it for what it was, but Fixed never actually had that heart. And that's the thing that I think is actually like missing from this. And I very much found that when I turned it back on to finish it the next day, and it was very hard to get through the next day because I wasn't emotionally invested the first half, and I definitely wasn't emotionally invested the rest of the half. As much as the film, I don't even think wanted me to be. It just wanted me to laugh, which might be the case for some people. But when the joke's starting to wear and tear towards the end, you start to wonder what is the purpose of this film. And that's where it loses you, is the fact that there was no crux, like that hook that continues to grab you on. The hook was the funny concept, but that funny concept only goes so far. I hope that makes sense for what I'm saying. Like, it's like hard to express because I know what the film is trying to do, and like usually the purpose of a comedy is just to make you laugh, and that's what Fix does for most of it. But I think the jokes just, they get old and fast, honestly. Point where I was just wanting something else from the movie to make me fall in love with it. And as I was mentioning, there is a bunch of R-rated raunchy comedies that we've seen before, and all of those have a hook, but also a crux to it alongside the jokes, which is like The Hangover or Superbad or Joyride. All these raunchy comedies have some sort of little charm to it or something that cruxes in, which is usually the friendship between everyone. That kind of is the thing that you keep continuing to watch, even though it's cliche. Fixed, I didn't care about the friendship between the dogs. I didn't care about the friendship between him and Honey. I didn't care about anything going on in the film. I honestly was just waiting for it to be over, which is very harsh coming from me. Again, I think the animation is stunning. I think this will definitely have its audience. This is a movie I would have loved at 14 years old, but at 28, it's grating, and I don't think the humor hits as well. I think this really would have worked as a short, or maybe as a short series with like 10 to 15-minute episodes telling this entire story over one season. But with all that said, I'm going to give Fetch a 2 out of 5. It feels harsh saying that, but I was really disappointed in this one. I've been looking forward to this ever since Genndy had announced it, and it sadly just did not hit the mark for me. But definitely leave your thoughts down below. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe you love this movie. Maybe you think it's the most hilarious thing you've ever watched. Please let me know down below. I think we can all agree at least on the animation part, and I still am excited to see what Genndy does next. So with all that said, guys, stay classy.